Hey everyone, and welcome back to Bleach Brave Souls! Alright guys, so today we're going to do a character profile on Ambassador Seaweed. And some people may think this character is awesome, some may think he's an atrocity, and some may have no idea what the fuck this thing is. But we're going to go through the full 9 yards on this character review. We're going to look at Nad, Sad, and Sar, because I think this character is awesome, and you know, he may not be OP, but he's a fun character to play, and sometimes that's more important than OP. And I know some of you may argue with me on that, but you know, that's your right to do so. So let's start off the way we always do. We'll go through the stats and abilities. And if we look at the stats and abilities, nothing really too impressive. He is a speed character, so he's a blue affiliation. He has no killer affiliation, however, so that is an advantage. He has no weakness against Hollow Killers, Soul Reaper Killers, or Captain Killers, or anything like that. He does have extra damage against Hollows, and his soul trait is fire duration minus 65%, which you may think is kind of a useless throwaway soul trait, but in some co-ops and raids, it may actually come in handy, because sometimes there is a lot of fire, and we all have taken fire damage before. So the only other thing to note there is that he costs 5 Hogyoku, because he is a metal exchange character. Now if you look at the numbers, once again, nothing really too special there. Everything's actually pretty bad, guys. I'm not gonna lie. The stamina is decent. It's 756, but everything else is, you know, not so good. The 6-star upgrades, however, are pretty decent. If we look, he has Sprinter. He has Long Reach, plus 30% normal attack range. He has Bruiser, plus 30% normal attack damage. And he has Berserker, plus 30% strong attack damage. So those upgrades may or may not balance out his lower numbers. We'll take a look when we go into the gameplay. Alright, so that's about it for the raw numbers and abilities. Let's move on to his moveset. Okay, first up is the normal attack string. There you see it. 4-hit string. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you'll notice, the range on it is very good, guys. Here it is in slow motion. It's very huge range, and the speed is not bad either. Here is the first strong attack. It's kind of a tidal wave type thing. Here it is again in slow motion. It hits about 3 times, and that's about it. Nothing too special about it. The range is pretty decent. Second strong attack. It's he dances around with his clones or whatever that is. It's the area of effect is centered around his body, so you'll have to be in the middle of a pack of mobs to take full advantage of it. But it's a pretty decent strong attack. And the third strong attack, his coolest one, he throws a clone of himself on a surfboard and rides a wave into the enemies. Here it is again in slow motion. There he goes, surfing his troubles away. Pretty cool attack, visually. Hits about 6 times, guys. And finally, let's look at the special. Boom, there you go. It's just straight up damage, hits 3 times. Nothing more than that, guys. So his special is pretty cool. I don't understand how he creates these duplicates of himself. Is that a power, or is that just like there's more than one of him? I don't know. There's a lot of mystery surrounding Ambassador Seaweed. Like, what is he an ambassador of, and things like that. I don't think it was ever explained. They do explain that he was created from Byakuya's imagination or something like that, and manifested in the real world somehow. Yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty creative story. He's just kind of a fun character to play. And let's go right into the normal attack damage build, guys. So this is the setup I will be running for a normal attack damage build. We have double chappies, and we have the commemorative coin with plus 15 attack, so plus 25 total attack overall. The max attack here is 75% increased attack, and he has full normal attack damage links, which gives him 60% increased normal attack damage. So let's take a look at how he does in actual gameplay. Alright, away we go. This is the level 120 Aizen Sosuke raid, and in this stage, Ambassador Seaweed has the attribute advantage and the killer advantage. So if we take a look at the damage, it's from the low 3000s to the high 3000s, not too bad. I mean, considering that this is a metal exchange character, the damage is somewhat respectable. There was a 4000 crit in there, and The main thing, the main advantage with this character, if he can be said to have an advantage, is that he has very good normal attack range. So a Chappy build on him is actually pretty good. He doesn't really have to get in as close as some other characters when you run a Chappy build. And the attack speed is pretty decent as well. So what he lacks in pure damage, he makes up for in speed and range. Is pretty much the best way to put it. Now keep in mind that because he does have both advantages here, he will be doing more damage than he otherwise would. But even still, you know, it's still very decent for a metal exchange character, as I already said. Now since we're running a normal attack Chappy build, pretty much his strong attacks are going to be relegated to being guard breaks. They're not really going to do that much damage at all, as you can see. So keep that in mind as well when you decide to go Chappies for this or any other character. So yeah, if you want something different, this is a pretty decent metal exchange character to go for. I don't know how he compares to the other metal exchange characters because I haven't leveled those up myself. But I can tell you right now, the range and the speed on his normal attacks make him actually pretty good and pretty fun to play. So if you're looking for something different than, you know, the usual blue Kenpachi, you know, maybe Yukio or whatever other trendy blue character is out right now, this is definitely one to consider, guys. He does cost 5 Hogyokus to Ascend and Awakened, but he's a pretty unique guy, and I like him just for fun. Alright, so that is the normal attack damage build on Ambassador Seaweed. Let's move on to the strong attack damage build. So this is the setup I'm going to run for the strong attack damage build. As you can see, I have plus 54% spiritual pressure and plus 58% strong attack damage. Those are the main two things to consider here. I did use the Frenzy Byakuya link because it does have the extra 10% recharge on it, so I recommend you do that as well. And if you do have better accessories than I do, you will definitely see better results, as should go without saying. So let's go ahead and take a look at the gameplay. Alright, here we are in the Aizen Sasuke raid once again. Keep in mind that Ambassador Seaweed has the killer and attribute advantages. So let's get into it. First strong attack. Fairly decent damage right there. Second strong attack. If you'll notice, this second strong attack has very short range and it's centered around his body. So you're going to want to use that when you're in the middle of everybody. And the third strong attack, he rides a surfboard. How cool is that, guys? How cool is that? So the damage isn't anything really remarkable as to be expected from a metal exchange character. His SP isn't particularly high, but he does have a 30% Berserker, which increases the strong attack damage by 30%. So it's higher than it would be without that, obviously. But I don't think I like this build that much, guys. The strong attacks don't have very good range, and they're just not powerful enough to warrant focusing on them exclusively. Maybe in a hybrid build, it would be a little better. But strong attack, pure strong attack damage doesn't seem to be hitting as hard as I would like. But let's keep looking. Here we go. It does a lot of hits, so that's a good thing. But just, the damage just is not there, guys. You will have to mix in your normals to make this build viable. So if you're going to do that, you may as well go with some kind of hybrid or some kind of recharge build, perhaps. We'll see in the next test how that does. But I can't imagine it's better. I really feel like this character is built for normal attack damage builds. Just primarily because of the range of his swings and the speed of the attacks as well. I mean, the only reason you would probably do a strong attack build is to show it off, show off his unique strong attacks, because they are pretty cool. Like this one right here is probably the most bland of them all. It's a water tornado, but this one here is pretty cool. He calls out his friends to dance around. It's similar to the Don Kanoji strong attack, and this one's awesome. The surfing one's pretty cool.
And it doesn't do terrible damage. It does a whole hell of a lot of hits. So those are the strong attacks of Ambassador Seaweed. The damage, it's not that great, guys. Alright, so let's move on to the third and final build.
Alright guys, so this is the last build we're going to do today. It is the strong attack recharge build. As you can see, I have minus 36% strong attack recharge time. I have 18% increased strong attack damage and plus 54% increased spiritual pressure.
Alright guys, so let's take a look at the strong attack recharge build. We'll start by looking at the recharge times. First strong attack, 5 seconds. Second strong attack, 11 seconds. And third strong attack, 16 seconds. So pretty standard for a strong attack recharge build. Here we go. Alright, so the damage is definitely reduced, obviously. But as is the case with most of these types of builds, you're not going for pure damage. You're going for pure volume of attacks. And I gotta say, it's right off the bat, it's pretty fun. It seems pretty fun because you get to use these cool, unique strong attacks a lot more often. Here we go. The surfboard attack is awesome. Follow it up with the dancing attack. Throw some normals in there to mix it up. A pretty fun character to play. And I gotta love the normal attack damage range. It's just amazing. It reminds me a lot of Senbon Zakura. If you guys are familiar with that character, Senbon Zakura has pretty good normal attack range. I would have to say it's even better than Kenpachi. And Kenpachi does have pretty good normal attack range. Here we go. Usually I find the strong attack damage builds to be the most fun to play. They may not be the most effective, but they make you feel like you're kicking ass. So, I mean, there is that to consider as well, guys. You know, if you're going for the pure damage, best build, meta build, this is definitely not a character you want to even consider. Because he's just not that, guys. He's a fun character, and he is viable in co-op and raid scenarios if you have the equipment and the player skill to make him work. So I mean, if you just like this character, you know, go ahead and ascend him. He's fun. I'm not gonna lie. He is fun to play, and he is definitely unique. And sometimes you can't measure that in terms of damage, pure damage output. Look at these. Look at these attacks. They're just awesome. Alright guys, so we're coming to the end of the second room. I think that's enough for everyone to get a good idea of what this character can do. So let's wrap it up, guys. Finish off this mob. And we'll get the heck out of here. So that is the strong attack recharge build. Pretty fun, guys. Not gonna lie.
Alright guys, so that's about all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a better idea of what this character plays like. You know, he's not the best, but he is fun and he is unique. So if that's what you're looking for, you might want to think about making this guy 6-star. Alright? Thanks for watching everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.